Welcome to 3 Minutes with Pride. My name is Megan Pritzwell, and today I'm going to be talking to you about addiction. What is addiction? Addiction is basically being physically and or mentally dependent on something. A physical addiction means that you're going to be addicted to that physical chemical reaction happening in your brain, and you will have a physical reaction to the absence of that thing, whether it's stomach ache or body ache or headache or cold sweats or nausea, all of those physical reactions to the absence of it. A mental reaction means that you're going to have a mental reaction to the absence of that thing, meaning you could have sadness or anxiety, depression, fear, those type of things. So physical addiction, mental addiction. Things that people can get physically addicted to are substances like nicotine, alcohol, heroin, meth, cocaine. Those are physically addictive. Then there are mentally addictive things like your cell phone, video games, people, TV. Those things are mentally addictive because you have a mental reaction if you don't have it. Sometimes people think that's crazy, but if you've ever left your cell phone at home and you felt the anxiety and the stress and this just freaking out because you don't have your phone with you, then you understand the mental reaction to the absence of that thing. So why do we get addicted? We get addicted because of a chemical called dopamine that is released in our brains when we enjoy something. Now, this chemical is released anytime we enjoy something, and that's why we do it again. The first time you ate your favorite food, your brain released dopamine and said, "That's my favorite food, I want it again." If you've ever eaten something that you really didn't like, your brain didn't release any dopamine, and that's why you didn't eat it again. So anytime you play sports or you meet somebody new and you enjoy their company or you watch a TV show, your brain releases dopamine and it says, "Hey, I like this, let's do it again." Now, food, water, and sleep are 3 natural addictions that everybody has. Those are really important because without those things, our bodies can't survive. Our brain knows that. So every time we go to sleep, our brain releases dopamine that tells us to do it again. Every time we eat, our brain releases dopamine that says, "Do it again." Every time we drink water, our brain releases dopamine and says, "Do it again." Chemicals, though, and things like nicotine, alcohol, heroin, meth, those type of things have a chemical reaction inside of our brain that trick our brain and the dopamine sender outers, and our brain releases way too much dopamine, and we forget that those things are actually not good for us. It tricks our brain. So when you use those substances, or when someone uses those substances, their brain releases too much dopamine. And sometimes people can become addicted to such an extent that their brain releases so much dopamine, they forget that they need sleep, food, and water. Now you know what addiction is, and in the next video, we're going to talk about brain development and why it's so important to keep your brain healthy.